A lot of you are obsessed with marriage, okay? You don't want to admit it. You don't want to think that you are, because society is obsessed with marriage. A lot of you, if some fairy godmother person thing came out of the sky and said you will never be married, you would spontaneously combust. Well, not me, I don't care. Okay, nobody gives a fuck. I'm not talking to you right now then. But for everybody else, you are obsessed. And it's really sad to watch from the outside looking in as someone who was also once obsessed with it. I made a video where I'm asking women who are thinking about marriage, who are in a relationship with someone or are engaged, to sit down and take inventory to assess their relationship and to be honest with themselves to see if that marriage situation would benefit them or if it's simply going to add either financial troubles, stress, or more work to their lives. The honest answer is most women, it's going to add one of the three, two of the three, or all of the three, but a lot of women won't be honest enough and admit that. Now, my comment filters are set better than the security at Area 51, I'm sure. So a lot of the BS falls in that comment filter and I don't have to worry about it. I'm not necessarily getting trolls in my comment filter, but for some reason, I guess this app oddly knows me too well. It also sends a lot of whataboutism people to that filter. So I'm getting a lot of what about this, what about that, what about this? And to that, I'm just gonna say you're obsessed with marriage. Anything that you cannot take a step back from and question, anything that you're willing to risk your mental, emotional, physical health, your safety, to take a chance at without looking at it and making a plan to make sure that you're safe, you're obsessed with it. If I'm telling you things to look out for, if I'm telling you ways to protect yourself, and you take that as me saying, don't ever get married, that's showing that marriage, at least to you, you know it is not good for women, but you want to do it anyway. And by me saying, protect yourself, look out for these things, that's like me saying, don't ever get married, because you think that's the only way that's possible for you. You're willing to do those things to get what you want. And I'm going to close with this. If there's something that I really want to do in life, first, I always take a second and research it to make sure that it's something that I really want to do. I weigh the pros and cons, and I see how it's going to benefit me. And if it's not going to benefit me, it's not something that I'm going to take part in. Now, if I find it's going to benefit me and I go forward, there's nothing that anybody else is going to tell me that's going to change my mind once I've made a good decision. So ultimately, you have to ask yourself why you are trying to convince a random woman on the internet who truly has your best interest at heart, why possibly doing something that might not be the best decision for you is the best decision for you. Why are you trying to convince me that it's okay to marry someone who is broke? Why are you trying to convince me that you don't need a plan B if something were to happen to that person or that relationship were to end? Why are you trying to convince me that the two of you are going to come together and make this billion-dollar empire and you're going to be rich and live happily ever after? We know that that's more than likely not going to happen. Most people are not even going to be 100,000-aires, let alone a billion or a million. So you can calm the fuck down on that. Instead of being realistic and putting your best interest at the forefront, you're trying to find some way, some loophole to convince yourself that it's okay to forsake all those things for the sake of being married. Some of you got the wake-up call and you're like, I have a lot of things to think on. Some of you are going to continue to be delusional and you're going to fuck around and find out. And then a small, tiny pinch percentage of you are going to be delusional and you're just so you're going to be lucky and get with somebody who doesn't take advantage of you. That's not going to be a lot of you. If you wanted to buy a car and they said there's a 50% chance that this car is going to fall apart, wheels and all, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you probably wouldn't buy that car and you would do more research to get yourself into a better car. The car that I'm talking about is marriage. But for some reason, since it's marriage, you guys don't give a fuck. You just want to say, at least I have a car. And that's fucking scary.